What is going on, everybody? My name is Jay. Welcome to Unplayable, where we are going to be talking about Lorcana spoilers today. We just recorded one. We're doing a section of cards at a time because there are so many that have been released since our last video. This one, we're starting with some crazy purple cards. You ready, Mike?
Yep, some real crazy bounce shenanigans.
Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and crack into it. We got a 4-cost Unequal Merlin. It's the Rabbit. He's a 2/3, which is terrible stats for a 4-cost, especially to be unequal. But what's the gimmick here? When you play this character and when he leaves play, you may draw a card. Any quest for one. Yeah, so this is the start of the bounce shenanigans. And this one lets you draw, which purple already has tons of draw. So you add more draw to it, and guess what? You're drawing your whole deck. I think this guy is good. I mean, if you're not playing the bounce mechanics, you probably don't play this guy. Maleficent
not.
is probably enough. Inkable, 3-cost, has pretty much the same stats unless you draw a card. This guy is kind of, maybe you still do. I don't know.
You might, because I mean, you're paying one more, and you're losing a strength, but you're not really using Maleficent for the strength.
No, not at all.
And you're drawing an extra card. So
Yes.
I think maybe you just play both.
Maybe you still just play him. Depends on what unequables you're trying to
Right.
slot in, I guess.
Yep. Yeah. The fact that it's unequal is a little bit rough, but I mean, especially if you're running the bounce package, this is definitely worth it. You can draw a crazy amount of cards with this.
So many cards. If this is going back to your hand, like playing bounce, the one we talked about last turn or last video, where you bounce this guy back to your hand, draw a card, and bounce your opponents, and then be able to play this again to get another card. That's a lot of card draw. I think that's good. So I think this guy's pretty sweet. He's solid, especially for that archetype.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Madam Mim, 3-cost Inkable Fox, 4/3 with Rush and Quest for 1. So this is already better because it's inkable at 3 than Rafiki, and it swings for 4 and has 3 health. So everything there so far is better than Rafiki. But this has the ability that when you play this character, you either banish her or you return one of your other chosen characters to your hand, which is fine if you're playing bounce, right? You don't really care.
Yeah. I mean, you turn that into an upside, and then it's just good.
Yes, I think this goes into every single one of these bounce decks because Rush for 4 at 3 and Inkable is just so good. And it gives you more bounce if you're wanting to draw cards with Rabbit or do shenanigans with any of the other characters that we'll get to. This is just a solid card.
Agreed.
Do you play it outside of the bounce though? Like, is having to bounce one of your characters so bad? Tempo wise,
you might, because you're probably not playing this in a tempo deck. I think if you're playing this in, I don't know, it's tricky because if you're playing this in like a control sort of deck, how many characters are you playing that are cheaper than this that you want to bounce to your hand to play this instead? I don't know. It does let you use your sort of on play abilities multiple times. So even bouncing a Maleficent is still good.
Yeah.
So I think maybe you do. This may just be good.
If you're playing purple-red, then you can bounce a Maleficent to your hand and to be able to defeat one of their characters.
Yeah, the dragon. Yeah.
And the good part about it, too, is you get to use your character first. So you can quest with Maleficent for 2, then bounce it to your hand.
Yeah, I think it's just good.
All right. Next up is Merlin, 2-cost Inkable Squirrel, 2/1. Look before you leap and quest for 1. When you play this character and when he leaves play, look at the top card of your deck, put it on either the top or the bottom of your deck. I did play this in that game that we posted, and it felt like this was the weakest one of the lot. Probably doesn't really make it into the deck, in my opinion. I think I said in the video that there might be some weird Cauldron, Ursula's Cauldron, plus this guy kind of deck where you have mirrors out and you're just like cycling through the top cards of your deck to figure out what you want and then being able to draw exactly what you need. Maybe this fits in that deck, but its stats are kind of bad and it's not a super impactful. It doesn't make it into the bounce version of the deck, I should say.
Yeah, I would agree there. You're only like able to really bounce one card per card you play, and this is not really the target that you want for that.
Right.
It's not bringing nearly as much value as the other ones, like draw a card or gain a lore, like we're about to see.
All right, next up, Madam Mim Snake, 2 cost inkable, 3/3. Those are solid stats for a 2 cost.
Very solid.
When you end quest for 1, just you wait. When you play this character, banish her or return another chosen character of yours to your hand. So this is just more bouncing.
Yep. I actually think this is really good because it's so cheap and it enables your, the rest of your deck. It enables all the other strategies that you want to do for only 2, and it's inkable. I think you probably want to be playing some kind of 1 cost card in a deck where you have this in it, just so that you could potentially drop this on second turn. But
I think that's
may not
good.
Even need to.
Like if you're playing 1 cost Maleficent, this is really good because you play Maleficent, quest, then you get to bounce Maleficent back to your hand to be able to play again. Yeah. So I think that alone is good.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Just good, cheap, efficient, and you want to be bouncing all of these other things. So helps
exactly. 3 cost Merlin Crab, inkable, 3/3. Quest for 1. Ready or not, when you play this character and when he leaves play, chosen character gains +3 challenger this turn. This one I think is pretty good. Like, it's not irrelevant. Getting +3, I don't know why they felt like it needed to be +3 challenger since you're only getting it for this turn.
Interesting. It could have just been they get +3 strength.
Maybe they don't want it to stack. Is that what it is? Does challenger gaining?
Oh yeah, it probably doesn't stack.
Challenger stack? I don't know.
Well, maybe it does because it's +3, not like. I don't know. We'd have to. I'm sure someone will tell us in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you know the rules. There was something else that we tried to see if it stacked. It was support, and support doesn't stack. Right? So I feel like challenger may not stack. I don't know. Someone tell us.
We'll find out.
Because either way, I think this guy's decent. He helps be able to clear your opponent's board of big things if you need to. But he also isn't the strongest. He's not the rabbit. He's not the goat. But he's better than the squirrel. Yeah,
I would agree with all that. I think, it's just fine.
Just fine.
It's good into resist.
Yeah, sure.
And it's inkable. Both are good.
It
but
is inkable.
You would rather be bouncing the rabbit or the goat. Yes. I think we're going to see the goat next. Let's see that goat now.
There it is. 4 cost Merlin, inkable, 4/3 goat. Quest for 1. When you play this character, when he leaves play, gain 1 lore. This guy is bonkers.
Yeah, this is nonsense. It's it changes the way that the game is played, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think it literally changes the core tenets of the game that we knew in set 1. This is that. I don't know if this was the first one that we saw, but this is the first one we're talking about on the channel that lets you gain lore and your opponent doesn't get to interact with it, which is kind of it's a thing.
It's different.
Let's say it's a thing. It's definitely completely different than what we experienced in set 1, which maybe that's fine. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But there's some insane combos you can do with this guy, like absolutely insane combos, which if you want to see them, go to one of our previous gameplay videos where I was playing the bounce deck, because this guy's nuts. Yeah. This guy and the rabbit are both
they're both good. Just so much value. You wouldn't necessarily think that they are, but it all adds up, and it adds up real quick.
Especially with the next card, and then another card we're going to talk about in a minute. But next is King Arthur, or just Arthur. Sorry,
he's not a king yet, I guess.
He's not. He hasn't got his glasses. That's why he's sitting there trying to read. He can't read. He needs his glasses, and then he becomes King Arthur. That's a little deep cut for Fairly Odd Parents, for those who know.
That's a real deep cut.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I've seen the show, but I've never seen that episode.
There's an episode,
or if I have, I don't remember.
They have little like weak Arthur like this, but he can't see, and then they give him glasses, and all of a sudden he just like explodes into this giant ripped man with a sword. He's like, I can see, I can fight.
That's awesome.
There you go. Yep, so this guy's 3 uninkable, 1/3, terrible stats, absolutely garbage, but any quest for 1. But what's his gimmick? Whenever this character quests, you may return another chosen character of yours to your hand to gain 2 lore. Oh my word. So if you return a goat, you're gaining 4 lore. Is what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It's
That's
a lot.
actually insane.
It's a lot.
Especially if you already have goat on board, you quest with the goat, then you quest with this. That's 5 lore with just these 2 characters.
Yep.
A 3 cost and a 4 cost.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then you play the goat back down and you gain another one.
And then you bibbity bobbity the goat and you gain
and
2
gain
more.
2 more. That's actually insane. Yeah, I think this guy goes into every single one of those bounce decks.
Yeah.
Because a 3 cost that quest for 3 basically is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
And synergizes with the bounce. Yeah, he's sweet.
The stats are obviously not great, but you don't care because you're gaining like 5 lore off of it. So
exactly,
you're chilling, and then you're forcing them to attack into this or to deal with this instead of the other thing that you're bouncing that also is a threat that needs to be dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. All right, next up. All right, more shenanigans. 7 costs, Madam Mim, Purple Dragon, Inkable, 5/7, Quest for 4, Evasive, and
It's a lot of things.
Legendary. When you play this character, banish her or return 2 chosen characters of yours to your hand. So let me just set the picture for you. You got 2 goats on board. They both quest. You play Madam Mim. You return both, get 2 more lore. Play both of those goats, get 2 more, and then you got 4 lore sitting on the board, and it's evasive.
Yeah, you had to have what,
a lot of ink,
13 ink, which is possible. I've seen lots of games where you get up to that many ink, but it is a lot of ink. Yeah, I have mixed thoughts about this card. It's the cheapest way to get 4 lore on a character. It has evasive. Both are really good. It is inkable.
It's got good stats.
Good. Great stats, and the ability you turn into a positive. So I think this card is really good. The downside is that you have to have 2 characters in order to even play this card.
Well, not technically. If you're at 19 and you have a goat on board and you really need to bounce into your
yeah,
hand,
you can bounce and win.
Yeah.
It's true.
You would just have to vanish Madam Mim. But yeah, you need to have two things on board. But I feel like in purple, you're going to have so much card draw. You could play so many low cost things
alongside
that you wanted
this.
to. Yeah. And be able to use this. Like, obviously, the return 2 is supposed to be a negative, right? Because we're seeing all of these cards that make you return stuff to your hand. They're inkable and they're like solid stats. They're like higher than normal stats because you're having to return stuff to your hand, which is not bad, which is not good economy. But when you pair it with the fact that you're gaining lore for bouncing or drawing cards for bouncing, then it just kind of gets insane. Yeah,
it's. I mean, in a card game, card gamers generally like to turn downsides into upsides, and this is the perfect example of that. And when you can do that, it makes all of the cards that are involved better. And yeah, I think that this has a ton of potential.
Yep, I agree.
All right, we're done with all the bounce stuff.
Done with the bounce.
Before we move on, though, I think both of us were a little bit kind of like meh on all the bounce stuff until we saw it in action.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. It is very like complex in terms of sequencing and understanding the timing of how things happen and stuff like that, which is I don't know. It was more fun in practice than it looked on paper.
Way more interesting, because when I was seeing all these cards, I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
But it's way more interesting.
I think part of that is just that it's the same 2 characters over and over again in different forms, which is like kind of cute. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, when they were just like back to back revealing, like basically it's like, oh, and here's another Merlin, here's another Merlin, here's another, and then it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. We didn't even we must have talked about Merlin in the
previous video. Yeah,
that's right. Normal sorcerer Merlin also works with the bounce mechanic, which is cool.
Also very good with the bounce mechanic.
Yeah. All right, next up, Lady Tremaine, Overbearing Matriarch, 2 costs, uninkable, 2/2. Not for you. When you play this character, each opponent with more lore than you loses 1, and it quests for 1. Red is the lose lore color. It has all the lose lore cards. Is this good? Is this better than Aladdin? Aladdin is a 2 cost 2/2 that quests for 1.
I think it's 3 costs, right?
Is it 3 costs? Okay, so basically you are trading 1 cost to make it uninkable, and then also having the restriction of having to have less lore than your opponent. I don't know if that's worth it, in my opinion. I think Aladdin's probably just better, because Aladdin also gets a shift into Big Aladdin.
Right.
This doesn't have anything.
That's definitely a consideration.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, true.
That seems kind of bad to me.
Yeah. I don't think it's very good. Maybe in multiplayer where you can make everybody lose a lore, but I don't know. Not that excited.
Agreed. Maybe there is a deck where you just go like 2-cost Lady Tremaine, make them lose, then Aladdin, make them lose, and then Big Aladdin, make them lose, and Ursula, make them lose.
Sounds really fun.
All right, 4-cost Prince Charming, inkable 3/3, quest for 3. Don't we have this stat line somewhere? Hans.
Yeah, Hans in green.
Hans is good, so this guy will probably be good.
Yeah, and green blue is a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So
with tons of lore on their characters.
Quest for so much.
Yeah, every character you drop is going to be 2 or 3 lore.
That's actually kind of cool.
Not exciting, but also exciting.
Exactly. Next up, Grand Duke, Advisor to the King. 2-cost, inkable, 2/2, amber, 1 lore pip. Yes, Your Majesty, your prince, princess, king, and queen characters get +1 power. That's so much.
Okay. I think this is bad.
I mean, 2 for 2/2. Yeah, that's kind of understated. Probably not good.
To give your prince, princess, king, and queen characters +1 challenge or +1 strength. If it gave them +1 lore, it would be really good.
Yeah.
Maybe this is okay with like Moana, where you can ready and quest, quest and then ready and then challenge, and you get to challenge for more. But I don't know. I'm not that excited by it.
I'm not either.
I think it's kind of meh.
Next up, speaking
of princes,
Prince John. Let's go. 3 costs, unequal, 1/2. Now talk about some bad stats. He has ward though, and quest for 2. And he's got an ability called I Sentence You. Whenever your opponent discards 1 or more cards, you draw a card for each card discarded.
Or each card discarded.
For each. So if you play You Have Forgotten Me, you get to draw 2 cards.
Whenever your opponent plays Ransack, you draw 2 cards.
Oh my god, yeah. Simba.
Whenever your opponent plays Simba, you draw a card. Or Cinderella, you draw a card.
And you know what they should have called this ability is the rich get richer.
They should have.
Because that's what this card is.
Yeah, this is...
Clearly his stats are super low because of how busted he is.
Yep.
And he quests for 2.
Yep. And he quests for 2, but he has ward. Yeah,
so you could just leave him up. I guess like swords defeats him, but just give him resist.
Yeah. And then just like Hogsworth in the same deck.
Yeah.
And you're chilling.
Seems good.
Yeah, or mouse armor. You mouse armor this, and that's it.
Yep. I like this guy.
I mean, there's so many insane combos with this card. With a whole new world, you get to draw, 7 plus however many you made your opponent discard. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's just the normal discard stuff where now every time you discard a card from your opponent's card, now Sudden Chill lets you draw a card.
Yep.
So they're really pushing this discard strategy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's good for the game. I don't know. I mean, discard generally is very unfun. It's not good
for the game.
We talked about this in one of our gameplay videos where there is so much draw now that maybe this is okay. Because like we've had games where like literally you go from 1 card in your hand to 9 cards in your hand in like a turn, and maybe this is to help counter those strategies, but that's a very different Lorcana than what we know today.
Yes. Yep. Agreed.
So if you're really into discard existing, you're gonna love this card. And if you're not, you might not.
What's funny about it though is it's also adding to the amount of draw that exists in the game.
Yeah.
So it's solving a problem and also adding to the problem at the same time.
Gotta love it.
Next up, we've got Scar Vicious Cheater. He's a 7-cost unequal 6/5 with Rush, 2 lore pips. And then during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may ready this character. He can't quest for the rest of this turn. He's a legendary. This is just
Mace Windu, huh?
This is Mace Windu from Star Wars Unlimited. Yep, literally.
Except worse stats.
Worse stats, but he does quest for 2.
He does quest for 2, but Mace hits your opponent in the face for 5.
Yes. Also
what do you think about this card?
Wait. Ambush has to attack another unit, right?
Yeah.
But then after he's attacked, he's good to attack into your base, right?
Yeah.
Or is it for that turn he can only attack? It's only for that action, right? Yeah. So he can swing in the face. Yeah. So he's better.
Yeah.
This is also just strictly a worse beast green that we talked about last video, because it's the exact same thing, right? Except this guy has the restriction of he can't quest.
It's slightly different because this has rush.
So
you get to use his strength right away. You get value out of it immediately.
But he also costs 7,
and you have to banish.
uninkable.
Yeah, 7 uninkable, and you have to banish the character that you challenge, not just deal damage. So I think this is way worse than Beast.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I actually don't really like this card that much personally.
I think he's fine. I think he's cool. Like if you're able to take out a bunch of little things. Like if you're playing against Rockstar Stitch and they get like 6 guys out, you can be like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Then
it's a situational one-sided board wipe, but I think it's very situational, and the fact that it's uninkable and only good in certain matchups.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's okay to just deal 6 damage for 7 resources sometimes, but
it's not.
It doesn't seem great. I don't know. This is the legendary that I'm so far least excited about from this set.
The fact he can't also quest. Like if he's a legendary, let him quest. Like let him swing and attack something and then quest.
Yep.
All right. Li Shing, 5 cost inkable steal, 3/6 quest for 2. Whenever this character quests, your character gains evasive this turn. All your characters gain evasive this turn. So this is to counter evasive decks, right?
Yep.
Which is cool because he's got a bow and arrow, so he's all about and this is archery instructor, so he's all about like
teaches all your other characters how to shoot evasive things.
Which ironically, Robin Hood is also a character that has a bow in this game. And also got evasive on his turn, on your turn.
Interesting.
So that's their theme is bow and arrow means you can attack evasive characters.
Yeah.
He seems fine.
Ultimately fine. I think the stats are fine. I think if you want to be able to have an answer to evasive, it's decent. Otherwise, whatever.
He's inkable, so like if the meta has one deck that's evasives package, then you can put this in here knowing that you might be able to go up against it, but he's inkable, so you ink him whenever you want. Is he better than Beast? So like at the same cost, 5 inkable and steel, you also have Beast. So like if you're going up against a meta that might have a bunch of items, which one are you putting in? The one that's going to be for evasives or the one that's going to be for items? I don't know.
Yeah, same. It's tricky.
Bibbidi Boppity Boo. 3 costs unequal song. Return chosen character yours to your hand to play another character with the same cost.
This is
or less for free.
The most broken card I've ever seen in my entire life.
So for those of you who do not know, when a card goes into an area that is not open knowledge, then it becomes it's no longer the same card. So if I bounce a goat from play, put it into my hand, I can play that same goat down as the second character that you're playing for same cost or less for free. So basically this lets you gain 3 lore off of a goat if you bounce it and then play another one.
Yep. So besides the bounce shenanigans that you can do, you can also just like cheat characters into play. Like you can shift, let's say you're playing, what's a really expensive shift character like Mickey, like you're playing the green Mickey, which costs 7. You can, on 3 play your 3 cost Mickey. Is it on 4 or on 5? You play Mickey, the green one. I think 5. So you play green Mickey on top of it.
Unless you play blue Mickey.
Oh, true. Oh, okay, that's better. So you play blue Mickey. Then the next turn you shift onto it with a 7 cost card. Then you can sing this song with that Mickey and then play Hades or something like that.
Yep, and trigger the Mickey ability.
Yeah, trigger the Mickey ability and banish ink one of your opponent's characters with Hades. Or whatever other 7 cost card.
And you get 2 cards back because you're getting the one underneath the shifted character.
On turn 5.
Yeah, turn 5. Or turn 4.
Turn 4, yeah.
Because you're playing blue Mickey. So turn 4.
Yeah, on turn 4. Yeah.
And you get blue Mickey back to hand.
Yep. And the other Mickey.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And I mean, you could even just do this to bring whatever the bottom card of your Floodborn stack is. Like, you do this with Tinkerbell to just like bring Tinkerbell back to your hand and then play it again for the when played.
Yeah.
There's so many ridiculous things that you can do with this card. I don't know how this is not just like, I don't know how this card was designed. And as a song, this is honestly probably the most ridiculous card I've ever seen in my entire life in a card game. That may be hyperbole, but this is insane. Like, this will be broken before the set comes out. I guarantee it.
And then you pair it with the fact that there's cards that have abilities on play and on leave.
Yeah.
It just gets nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I think we mapped it out. You can, on turn 4, just get 7 lore if you have this Arthur and a goat.
Oh, yeah.
Just one goat. And that's just crazy. So
it's nuts.
All right, we'll move on.
Tigger, one of a kind. 3-cost inkable 3/3 with 1 lore pip. Energetic. When you play an action, this character gets +2 this turn. So there's more red action.
Green actions.
Yep. So maybe that's the deck they want you to play. I'm not going to be playing it.
It seems bad.
Tigger's cool, but
yeah,
kind of bad. Donald Duck, Deep Sea Diver, 5-cost inkable 6/5 with 1 lore pip.
Cool.
Isn't this? What's
it's
that?
The same.
Cerberus?
Yeah. It's
Cerberus
different,
is
right?
6
It's
cost.
6 cost. It's 6 cost 5/6, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
Very
seems
similar.
fine.
Like, you're just never putting that in your
cool.
deck over something else that you could put in your deck. It's not happening.
No, not at all.
That's
But
never being played.
Minnie Mouse zipping around, a 2-cost inkable 3/2 with 1 lore, another vanilla, but it's also another mini to be able to shift on with red mini.
True. The red mini shifts for 2 though, so it feels weird to shift for 2 on a character that you already paid 2 for.
You're getting same value though, right? Because it's a 4-cost. You're not losing.
You're playing it 1 turn early, I guess.
Yeah.
You're losing a character technically.
Yeah, you're losing a card.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
I don't know. Yeah. Now this next card.
Daisy Duck, 4-cost, secret agent, inkable 2/3, green, quest for 2. Whenever this character quests, each opponent chooses to discard a card. Insane card right here.
And a quest for 2. This card's wild.
Card is super good.
You play this with Prince John and you get to profit.
Yep. I literally replace this with whenever you quest, your opponent discards a card, you get 2 lore, and you draw a card.
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I think this card's going to be really good in that.
There's
that
too much else to
package.
say. The card's just nuts.
And then Goofy. Here we go. Night for a Day. 9-cost inkable, 10/10.
Huge.
Quest for 4.
Huge.
Huge.
I like that he's just a big stat bomb.
Yeah, I love it. And he quests for 4, which is sweet. But he's probably bad.
Probably.
He doesn't do anything on play.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we can get into the argument of like whether just like not having it on playability is bad or good, but this also doesn't really do anything special otherwise. Like you'd rather play Maleficent, not Maleficent. You'd rather play Madame Mim or Mickey over the other characters that quest for 4, because you either want to use the lore or you want to use the strength and willpower.
You'd have to play like Shield of Virtue or something.
Yeah.
For him to be good.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like harder for your opponent to remove through challenging, but so is Mickey because he's evasive.
Yeah.
So, and Madame Mim because she's evasive. So, yeah, he's probably not very good, but it's cool that he exists.
Yeah, I think he's bad.
We'll have to try to find some way to cheat it into play.
Yeah, I think I still play this over Gantu though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, well, that's all the spoilers for today. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to our ramblings, and as always, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.